Ghana's journey through the labyrinth of energy uncertainty has always felt like a story suspended between hope and hardship, promise and setback, ambition and reality. For decades, the nation has walked a tightrope between darkness and illumination, caught in the unpredictable rhythms of power availability that shaped everyday life, business survival, and national confidence. And so when Finance Minister Cassiel Baah Forson stood before Parliament on November 13th, 2025, to reveal the government's newest and most ambitious energy project, a massive 1,200 megawatt state-owned thermal power plant. Before we dive deeper into today's update, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Your support is key to helping us grow and reach more viewers like you. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss out on exciting updates. Something shifted in the atmosphere of the country. It wasn't just news. It felt like the first chapter of a new national era. At that moment, many Ghanaians could sense that the long, tumultuous history of energy instability was meeting its rival. The announcement came with a gravity that immediately grabbed national attention. At 1,200 megawatts, the proposed plant would surpass one of Ghana's most iconic engineering marvels, the Akosombo Dam, which has stood for 60 years as a symbol of power, pride, and national achievement, with its 912 megawatt capacity. But Ghana's story in the 21st century is different from the Ghana of the 1960s. Population growth, industrial expansion, urban pressures, and climate uncertainties have rapidly changed the country's energy needs. Akosombo was built for a Ghana with a population under 7 million. Today, the nation has more than 34 million people. And though the dam once confidently powered the entire country, the rains no longer fall the way they used to. The shifts in climate patterns have made hydropower unreliable, and year after year, the burden of power generation moved from an asset of pride to a gamble that carried consequences. That is why, when an image of the future 1,200 megawatt plant began circulating on X, towering chimneys, massive cooling towers, and a sprawling industrial landscape, Ghanaians didn't just see a picture. They saw something that had been missing for a long time: stability. They saw the possibility of an energy future not held hostage by rainfall, seasonal droughts, or aging infrastructure. The comments under the post said everything the government could never summarize in a press release. "This is how you solve energy problems," one user wrote. Another proclaimed, "Mahama has just bought Ghana 30 years of progress." Whether political or not, the reactions reflected a collective desire, a hunger for a new foundation of certainty. But this new plant is not emerging in isolation. It is tied to something even larger and more coordinated: the construction of a second Ghana gas processing plant, GPPP2, capable of handling 150 million standard cubic feet of gas every day. This plant is not an add-on. It is the lifeblood of the 1,200 megawatt facility. The two are inseparable, like heart and artery, designed to operate in synergy and end Ghana's dependency on erratic rainfall and expensive emergency power imports. To achieve this, the government has moved aggressively to attract investment, and the results have been staggering. From 2019 to 2025, crude production in Ghana fell from 71.4 million barrels to 36 million, a sharp decline that threatened national revenue, energy supply, and foreign investor confidence. But reforms and renegotiated contracts have flipped the narrative. By late 2025, over $3.5 billion in new exploration and development commitments had poured in from partners at Jubilee, TEN, and OCTP. These investments signal not only confidence, but a renewed race toward energy independence. And yet, one of the most symbolic decisions in Ghana's energy story is unfolding in the deep waters of the Voltaian Basin, where the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation is preparing to begin drilling in October 2026. For decades, the basin was a rumor, an enormous untapped frontier whispered about in policy circles, but avoided due to the complexities of exploration. Now it has become part of the national roadmap, a bold stroke of ambition that complements the broader mission to secure the fuel, infrastructure, and resilience needed to power a new Ghana. This is the way a nation moves from vulnerability to control. To understand the emotional weight behind this shift, one has to revisit the years that tested Ghana the most. 2014 to 2016, The years of widespread blackouts etched into national memory under one word: dumbsore. It was more than an inconvenience, it was an economic wound. According to the World Bank, the nation lost an estimated $2.4 billion during that period. Factories shut down, businesses collapsed, households suffered, and Ghana's global image dimmed. In that era, every flicker of the lights felt like a reminder that the country was fighting a constant, invisible battle. For the younger generation, those years shaped their understanding of national infrastructure. For the older generation, they echoed challenges they had already lived through decades earlier. So when the 1,200 megawatt project was announced, it resonated beyond the technical. It felt emotional. It felt restorative. It felt like a redemption arc finally taking form. As part of this new trajectory, the government has not confined its focus to thermal power alone. In a surprisingly strategic twist, Ghana's nuclear ambitions have gained momentum. The conversation intensified when Russia's Rosatom proposed floating nuclear power units for Ghana, a bold concept, but one misaligned with Ghana's long-term nuclear roadmap. After months of evaluation, Ghana declined the floating option, opting instead for land-based nuclear technology that aligns with the country's vision for predictable, sustainable, centralized energy generation. This decision, though technical, speaks volumes about Ghana's unfolding identity: cautious but ambitious, strategic rather than experimental. And while the nuclear timeline unfolds, Ghana is pushing ahead on other fronts. Rural electrification programs are expanding, connecting communities that have waited decades for reliable power. Urban reinforcement projects are upgrading lines, substations, transformers, and distribution grids to reduce power losses and improve voltage stability. Multilateral partners like the World Bank are providing financial backups, helping Ghana inch closer to universal electricity access. All of these efforts intersect with the government's 24-hour economy policy, which demands an energy sector capable of powering factories, cold stores, markets, hospitals, transportation systems, and digital services around the clock. But for every bold ambition, there is a mountain to climb. Ghana's energy sector debt, projected to hit $12.5 billion by 2030, remains a flashing warning sign. Tariff rates, among the highest in Africa at 13 to 15 cents per kilowatt hour, pose a burden for households and businesses. Operational inefficiencies, legacy contracts, and expensive power purchases have created a financial ecosystem that must be restructured if Ghana hopes to support its energy transition. That is why the newly established Energy Sector Levy Act Commission, ESLAC, has been tasked with correcting systemic distortions and rebuilding financial stability. The road ahead is long, but without cleanup, even the most powerful power plant would struggle to deliver real relief. Still, the opportunities embedded within the 1,200 megawatt project are enormous. Construction alone will create thousands of direct and indirect jobs, from engineers to welders, from caterers to transport operators, from surveyors to local suppliers. The ripple effects will strengthen communities, boost local economies, and anchor new commercial activities. When the plant becomes operational, industries that struggled with unreliable power, textile companies, metal fabrication firms, food processing factories, pharmaceutical manufacturers, cold chain facilities, will experience a rebirth in productivity and competitiveness. Investors who once hesitated will find courage in the steady hum of reliable power. And for ordinary Ghanaians, the difference will be felt in the quietest ways. Refrigerators staying cold through the night, small businesses staying open longer, students studying without interruption, hospitals performing procedures without worrying about backup systems, and families living without the fear of sudden darkness.
If today is your first time watching this channel or you are returning to this channel for the exciting content, please subscribe to the channel for more educative and developmental projects across Ghana and Africa as a whole. Do you want to know about the state of a project in Africa? Then make sure to like and comment the name of the project you would like us to talk about and its current state.